Everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had a wonderful week. And for those of you who tune in every single week, every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, welcome back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your Mental Health Moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And for those of you who are watching the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, welcome. And be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. Thanks for those who are starting to join here. Let me know. Hopefully my comments will come in today. Let me know where you're tuning in here in the comments. I am here live today, you guys. I'm super excited to be back live with you all. For those of you, again, who tune in every week to Mental Health Moment, 98.7% of the time, I am here live. The last 2 weeks, though, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, it'll always be on YouTube. But I was either traveling 1 week and the other week I was at a Power Thanksgiving event with a board that I'm on called the Ryan Neese Foundation. So a little preoccupied on those last Tuesday nights, the last two Tuesday nights. But I am back here live with you all. So again, let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments. Hopefully my comments will come in. I just never know with technology what my comments want to do. But nonetheless, I am here actually today in Texas with some family for the upcoming Thanksgiving break here in the next couple of days. It's just crazy. We're already at Thanksgiving. If you do celebrate Thanksgiving, happy early Thanksgiving to you, or maybe you're watching this after Thanksgiving anyhow. But that is rapidly coming upon us, which is insane to me that the year just flies by the time we get to this part of the year. But welcome. Thanks again for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your Mental Health Moment. For those of you who are new, Mental Health Moment is all about how do you become the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for those around you. What I have been doing for the last couple of weeks here, and I will be doing until the end of this year, is going over my newest book, which is Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind, and the Rest Will Follow. I know some of you have asked where you can get the book. It is on Amazon, which is the most popular place, or Walmart.com, BarnesandNoble.com, BooksAMillion.com, or any other online. Most of the online retailers have it. The other thing I wanted to, share with you all about the book, I told you all, I think it was last week, I think I announced it, but there will be a part 2, if you all, a second edition coming out here soon. I will promise, though, I will let you all know once that is ready to be published and released, but it should be here pretty soon. So I'm super excited about that. But for now, we've been going through this book, which is the first book, Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind, and the Rest Will Follow each week. Yay, the comments are finally coming in. Welcome from Virginia. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Welcome. Okay, so let me get started here. So this week we are on chapter 12, actually 12 and 13, because we're going to get through this book by the end of the year, you all. And again, if you have your copy, obviously you can grab it, highlight along the way, take notes, that good stuff. If not, grab your copy, or you can follow along. I'm here every week. I'm in Mental Moment until we go over. Good evening to you as well, until we finish this book here. But okay, so chapter 12. Chapter 12 is about, it's really looking at, I wrote this chapter for you to understand the difference between prevention and intervention when it comes to mental health. Because what happens, good evening from Boston, welcome back. What happens a lot of times when it comes to mental health, I've seen it time and time again. For those of you who don't know me, this is, coming up on almost 16 years in private practice. I still have a private practice. I'm still there part of the time if I'm not speaking to different groups and traveling, doing some type of other work. I still am there. And so I have seen heard thousands and thousands of stories from people in my clinical work, and also just being in the field and the information that I've learned. I wrote this chapter about prevention and intervention because it breaks my heart to know one of the statistics that I talked about in there is how for the average person, it could take 11 years from the time something starts, some type of heartache, pain, issue, depression, anxiety, fill in the blank, until when a person actually gets treated for it, right? Which is, it's sad, but it's true. I've seen it also time and time again, even in my work with kids. I've seen that as well. Like something could be happening, maybe a kid's like 4 years old, but then they don't get help for it until they're like 14, which is, it's heartbreaking and it's hard. And it really is because of the stigma of mental health. But I really reminded you in this chapter that please understand that there's a lot you can do when it comes to prevention. Meaning, prevention means, well, self-help books, right? Not just this book, which happens to be my love, but other books, of course, to educate you. So whether it's self-help books, whether it's good podcasts that you need to listen to, whether it's things on YouTube, whether it's really connecting with friends and family members, right? To get the support that you need. Hi from Alabama. Welcome. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. To get the support that you need, right? So support comes in many different forms. That's something I talked about a lot in chapter 12. Again, I am hoping that as a society, frankly, we get more into a mindset of like, how can I prevent this issue? How can I prevent the heartache, pain, suffering in my life? Now, granted, and I did mention that again in this chapter, I really completely understand that there are just things that happen to you that are difficult to resolve, if you will, with a self-help book, right? There's just things that happen in our lives, things that are hard, that are traumatic, things are difficult, things that take years to heal from, and that's okay. We all have different experiences. So I'm definitely not opposed to intervention, like therapy or different types of mental health intervention, but there are certain things that can be prevented, and you don't even have to get to that point when we put things in place, when we take care of ourselves, when we again connect with family members and friends, when we're searching for answers for ourselves and are on our own journey, right? Those are the things that are really most important. Um, Let me see here. I did talk, well, I'll leave it for you all to actually read the story, but I did talk about my own journey when I was in graduate school, which was a long time ago, but it feels like just yesterday. But anyways, and we were recommended to go to therapy because I was in school for clinical psychology, and it was a recommendation like, hey, while you're in your training, to help other people know what it's like also to sit in a therapist's office. And again, this is a while back when I was in graduate school, but I essentially took that assignment and did that. And I was like, oh, I'll just go for stress management. And therapy basically ended up changing my life. So I talk about that in this chapter as well. And the last thing I want to say about this chapter, because I do want to go to the other chapter as well, is that, well, okay, let me share this with you all. This is like a bonus part. It's not exactly in this chapter, but also to remind you that there's prevention things that you can do for yourself, of course, extremely important when it comes to your mental health, but also when you learn things that are valuable and are helpful to you, make sure that you're also sharing this with other people. There are there are a lot of people that are hurting right now. There are people that are hurting that you may be aware they're hurting, and there's people that are going through some stuff that you don't have a clue. Please, please don't rely on social media to think that you know what's going on in a person's life. I think I've said that like 400 times on Mental Health Moment, but I'm going to repeat that because you're literally getting a glimpse of a lot of stuff that goes on in people's lives. So I say that especially with the holidays coming up here to remind you all that when you get, and I'm not just talking about this book, whatever it is for you that you learn, you're like, man, I learned something valuable. This really helped my mental health. Make sure you share that with someone else. Again, because we just don't always know what people are going through, especially through the holidays. It can be a joyous time or it can be a really difficult time, just depending on what that all brings up. Um, Good evening from Atlanta. Thank you for tuning in. Good evening to you as well. Welcome, welcome. Alpharetta George is in the house. We got Georgia people here today. Hey, welcome, welcome. It's so interesting on mental health moments sometimes where I feel like, I don't know, like if it's not Texas or Chicago or just somewhere, there's a lot of people from one area, one state. So it's interesting. So today it's Georgia. But anyways, welcome you guys. Thanks for joining in. And if you're just tuning in, it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We're here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live. And right now, until the end of this year, I'll be going through my newest book, which is Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind, and the Rest Will Follow. Oops, this way. Okay. You can get it on Amazon, Walmart.com, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and some other online outlets. But we are on chapter 13, you guys. So we are more than halfway through the book, you all. But I did want to obviously provide like overview highlights of what is in the book and what it's about, and also some other takes that maybe is not exactly in the book, but things I was thinking about as I was writing this book. Okay, so chapter 13 is actually about self-love, which is, I feel like I could write a whole book actually about self-love, because it's such an important topic, you all. It is a journey. Every single one of us are on a self-love journey. It's not a race, right? So please, I know it's so hard to say, to remind you to not compare yourself to others. I know it's hard. We have social media, which pros and cons. I do love social media, but there's also some negative parts of it. The comparison, you're looking, this person's this person living their best life. Why am I doing this? Like, it's a lot. It can be a lot, but we're all on our journey of self-love. Please don't beat yourself up when you read this chapter. If you're like, man, I'm not where I wanted to be, that's okay. That's why we're all in a place where we can work on growing to where you want to be when it comes to self-love. Hi from Michigan. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. So let me read you the quote that I actually put at the beginning of this chapter from Lucille Ball, which, fun fact as an aside, growing up, I'm trying to think what grade I was in. Ugh, I think I was in high school, maybe. Anyways, I used to watch so many reruns of Lucille Ball and her show, you all. So I don't know why. That was just my thing back then. I just thought she was hilarious. So nonetheless, her quote, one of her quotes is, "Love yourself first, and everything else falls in line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world." Okay. So I know it's not anything new to think about. You should love yourself, put yourself first, that journey. But again, meeting many people from different walks of life, I know that we're just all at a different place, which is okay. There's things that have happened to us sometimes that interfere with our ability to love ourselves. So recognize that. Hopefully, if you're at that place of awareness, and that's okay, whatever it is that happened um, in your life that may have affected your ability to love yourself, but know that you deserve to heal. Know that you're allowed to heal. Know that it is possible for you to heal and get to the place of self love that you want to be in. Um, so so in this chapter, oh, let me go to this one. And actually, I'm going to read this to you as well, because this is like my theme. I think that when I talk to different groups, when I travel to different places, I really want people to understand this. So I bolded it in the book for you all. But I want you also to repeat this. And if you have the book, make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you highlight this part. But repeat this out loud often to yourself in your journey of self love. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be emotionally healthy, and I deserve to have joy. Because a lot of times, what I found, especially with just the self love journey, is there's sometimes an issue of us feeling like whether or not we're worthy of loving ourselves, whether we're worthy of being emotionally healthy and being happy and having joy. Part of it is a choice to say, I do deserve that. Part of it is a mindset shift to say, I deserve these things. Now, once you say I deserve these things, there's another step with healing and that sort of thing, which again, healing comes in different forms, which we talked about already. But you really have to understand that you deserve that, right? Excuse me. And good evening from Jackson, Tennessee. Welcome. And Chicago's in the house as well. Welcome, welcome. So so one of the things also that I wrote in this chapter about the journey to self-love is, and which was another whole chapter too, but it's also your thought process as well. So what is it that when you ask yourself, what is it that you're telling yourself when it comes to you as a person? Like, have you accepted, like, I deserve to have self-love, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to be emotionally healthy? Have you really accepted that, and do you believe that? Or are you at a place where you're like, I don't even believe that yet, Dr. Hammond? And again, I don't want you to read this chapter and at all beat yourself up for wherever you're at in this journey. Maybe you were good. Maybe you were in a place where you're like, I had a great mindset, I was strong, I was good, and then something happened and you felt like you took 5 steps backward. That's normal sometimes because life throws us a lot of curveballs, right? So that is normal. If you're at that place, you're like, I feel like I took 5 steps back. It's okay. Like, let's just keep trying to move forward, right? And not be in a place of self-blame. Greensboro, North Carolina is in the house. Welcome. Oh, so funny you say that. Greensboro. I was there. When was I there? I don't know. A couple weeks ago, I think. I think it was a couple weeks ago because the time's blurring you all. But Greensboro is pretty special to me. That's actually where I met Dr. King. You all, for those of you who know Dr. Jackie King, who started this whole platform, Black Women Empowered Incorporated, who has a very special place in my heart, and who's just an amazing human being and friend. Yes, I literally met her for the first time in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was 2016. Yeah. Wow. Gosh, it's coming up on like 10 years soon. So it was a long time ago, and she's just an amazing human being. So you reminded me of that. But thanks for tuning in. Georgia on the line. We got another Georgia. I'm telling you, Georgia's popular tonight. We have another Georgia person in the house. And I also wanted to remind you from this chapter. I also want to remind you from with this chapter that please don't ever think you have to do this thing, this journey, this self-love process on your own. You could, maybe. It's so hard to say. A lot of times when I'm on different podcasts and whatnot, people are like, what's this magical solution? Like, how do we all get better? And it's like, well, I hate to say it depends, but it really does. For some of you, you may read a book, it changes your life. You may hear a speech, it changes your life. You hear a podcast, it changes your life. You do things on your own, you're good, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. If excuse me, if you're able to do that. But for some of you, you're like, you know what, I tried the self-help things by myself, but I need the help of a coach, or I need the help of a mental health professional, or I need to confide in a friend or family member. Like, those things are okay. Like, whatever it is that works best for you when it comes to self-love, this journey for you to get to a place where you know you need to be at and you deserve to be at, and you deserve to be healthy, is what I hope for each and every one that you do. Hi from Cordova, Tennessee. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. So as I wrap up this chapter here, which is chapter 13, the self-love chapter, and again, you all, I'm giving a high level overview. So I don't read the whole chapter and we take like 40 minutes here until the moment. Uh, but again, one of the things to think about is all of us are healing. Excuse me, Lord. All of us are healing from something, right? Let me get some water, y'all. I don't know what's going on with my throat. Um, but all of us are healing from something, which is okay. We're all at different stages and places in our self-love journey, which is okay. Your thoughts are only your thoughts. I think I've also said this 800 times on Mental Health Moment, but I'll repeat it again. Just because you say something to yourself about yourself does not make it true. Especially when it comes to self-love sometimes, again, just dealing with feelings of worthiness, or dealing with, should I, do I deserve to be happy, and all those sorts of things. Sometimes you will tell yourself things about yourself that are not true. We lie to ourselves. So just because you think it does not make it true. So remember that as well. And remember, again, repeat this to yourself aloud often. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be emotionally healthy. And I deserve to have joy. Because my hope for you is that you really get to a point where you understand you are deserving of those things. And once you know you're deserving of those things, then hopefully it'll be easier to take the steps, whether that's again doing the inner work and doing the healing work that you need for your, like, by yourself, for yourself, or the help of the mental health professional, or the help of family members and friends, or in whatever that journey looks like. But again, first you have to understand that you're worthy of those things and you deserve those things. Um, okay, so I'm gonna, yeah, I'll pause there for chapter 13. The next, well, obviously next week. Next week we're gonna get into chapter 14. And again, like I said, we will finish this book by the end of this year. Okay, announcements for you all. So let me hold on. I'm gonna grab my phone here, you all. So announcements for you all is on December. You know the state. Sorry, y'all. December 18th. Wednesday, December 18th at, I'm on Central Time now, so it's 1. Okay, 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be on a panel discussion with the International Association of Women. So be on the lookout if you follow me on social, Dr. Nikisha Hammond on all social media platforms. I will be putting more information of how to register for that event. That's the next place virtually that I will be at. And then I will let you all know. Yeah, I'll be at more in-person events next year that is open to the public. But I will definitely let you all know what city that will be in. I know it's multiple cities, and yes, I will let you guys know when I get that information. But those are all my announcements. But as I wrap up tonight or today, wherever you're at in the world listening to this, I do again want to remind you that there's so much benefit of getting into a mindset of prevention, meaning please don't wait until you're like falling apart. You're at your wits end, you're burnt out. That's a lot of what I talk about with different groups and organizations about burnout prevention. So I want to remind you also today that don't wait until you're at that point where you're just like, I'm done, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so stressed out. When you start to put in the habits early for self-care, when you start to understand that you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be emotionally healthy, you deserve to have joy, um, and then you put in again the work, it is work sometimes that you need for you, the self-help books or YouTube, mental health professional, whatever it is that you need for you to be thriving, which you deserve to thrive also, then you can start to see your life really start to make some changes and really hopefully get into more uh, balance for you, whatever that looks like for you, in order to again like continue to thrive, continue to show up powerfully for yourself and for the people that are around you, because this is also something that is beneficial to people around you as well. When you are the best version of who you are, this helps people around you and in your community. Good evening from Syracuse, New York. Welcome. Prairie View, Texas. Welcome. Okay, so I am wrapping up my health moment here. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, again, happy early Thanksgiving. Or if you're watching the replay on YouTube and you Thanksgiving's already passed, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. But I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Have a absolutely wonderful week and holiday if you celebrate. And I will be back next week. So take care, you all. Bye, guys.